Hello, I'm here with Kale, and we are going to be making a first episode of this podcast series.
So let's just talk about space. I mean, it's so fast, it's so big, so old. I mean, people become skeptical about aliens not being real, but when you just look at the fastness of space, I mean...
The space is big.
Yeah, I mean...
Big.
It's just... The statistics of us being the only life in the universe is just... I don't think it could happen. I want to say the universe is like 14.3 billion light years across, but...
Yeah, space. Aliens most likely exist. The government has openly said that they exist. I don't believe they live in our oceans, though. People have been saying that. I don't believe that, but...
No, I mean, aliens in the oceans, I mean...
It's a possibility.
Well, but only like 7% of our oceans are explored, so... So, like, I was completely off earlier. The universe is 94 billion light years in size.
Very large.
Yeah, that's big.
So there has to be life out there somewhere.
Well, like, NASA has found, like, 50-some planets that are in the habitable zone like Earth. So, like, just looking at Mars itself, with its ice, there could be life underneath that ice.
I don't know if this is true, and I don't want to take the time to fact check it, but I heard somewhere that on ice they think they may or may not have found microscopic, like, bacterial life inside of the ice caps on Mars, or somewhere, like, in the dirt, or, like, traces, like the carbon footprint of microscopic life, which I kind of believe, but I just want to fact check that sometime.
Well, it's theoried that both Venus and Mars used to have Earth, but that was before Earth was formed.
Yeah. Mars, most likely. Venus could, but its atmosphere is strong.
Yeah, way too damaged. But, like, even Jupiter's moon, I don't remember which moon, but, like,
Titan?
I think that's it. I mean, it's like Earth. If the heat of the sun could just reach it, it could possibly be an Earth-like a place. Because, I mean, in a couple million years when the sun were to consume Earth, we could, in theory, travel there in order to keep living.
Yeah. But here's the thing, and I watched some, I don't remember what, but it was like this quote, and it was, the day we have the ability to go to Mars, we have the ability to terraform, or we have the power of terraforming, to the point where if we're trying to make Mars habitable, we have the ability to make Earth habitable again.
Yeah,
with bioengineering and stuff. You've seen that too?
You've seen that from Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've seen that too.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, like,
he's a smart man.
He is. Well, I also feel like one thing, instead of focusing so much on space, we should be focusing on our own planet. I mean, we know more about space than our own planet. I mean...
Yeah, like, what was it? We know...
Like...
We have, there's more percentage of space we've been able to... I don't know if it's explored, obviously, but seen. And then we have, like, our oceans. Like, what is it?
It's either 3 or 7% of our oceans have been discovered.
It's more than 3, so I'm going to guess it's 5 to 7, I think. Deepest point, Mariana Trench, and then there's... Which, yeah, there's got to be some kind of crazy stuff down there. And then this whole deal about aliens living down there. But there's probably crazy microscopic life down there that we haven't learned yet.
Like, back to the Mars theory about life being there. Scientists found oxygen way down in the ocean where light can't reach. They called it dark oxygen. So the second scientists found that, people started theorizing that there could be life on Mars, just using that dark oxygen.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how the process works, but still, I mean, if
I almost just sneezed.
I forgot where I was going.
Dark oxygen, Mars.
Oh yeah, so like,
And in my brain, I was just thinking, dark matter, funny science, particles going kaboom.
well, speaking about particles going kaboom, Stephen Hawking said the day we find the God particle is the day the Earth would get destroyed. We found the God particle in 2017, I believe. So like,
What is the God particle?
I want to say a couple of Swedish scientists using a particle accelerator threw two things against each other, and it made this new thing, completely bypassing the matter cannot be destroyed or created, just changed. It completely changed that law. So like,
It created matter?
yeah, like it.
I'd fact check this.
The God particle itself could change everything we know about physics and how the universe works.
Because if that is true, which I don't know if it is, but that'd be kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'd fact check that. But, also, while you're looking stuff up, look up the name of the microscopic organism they found that lives inside of, like, volcanic areas. I forget what it's called. But, like, that thing's kind of crazy. It's, like, this microscopic organism that, like, they've found living in, like, overheated, I think it was in, like, volcanic areas and inside of lava or something. No, not in, but they found it could survive inside of, like, that type of temperature. I think it was, like, a technolithic light or some random word like that.
like the most invincible creature we've ever discovered is easily the tardigrade or the
That's
water
what it is.
bear.
Tardigrade. I mean, smart.
Those
Terathlithicalite.
those things are microscopic, but they
Yeah.
can survive the vacuum of space. You can dip them in lava, leave them there for like 50 days, and they're still alive.
Water bears are tiny.
Yeah, I mean, they can go like 3 years without food and water. No, I think it's close to like 13 years without food or water. I mean, these things are invincible.
Yeah. Now, I don't know much about quantum physics, considering I didn't go through quantum physics in college, but from what I do know, it's a very interesting, very strange world that's hard to understand.
Well, like
Like
with
most types of physics.
with the tardigrade, people started theorizing that they never came from Earth. They came from an asteroid that hit the Earth or something
I
like
could
that.
understand that.
Since they're so invincible and nothing on Earth is like them.
I can understand where something that can survive space came from space.
Or like something that invincible never came from Earth. It came from something else.
Yeah.
Or like Einstein's theory that white holes could exist. I mean, that would just change everything.
Because, well, the physics says that, or the laws of physics and stuff says that a white hole could exist, and that a black hole could connect to a white hole, forming a wormhole. And most of the stuff I'm saying here probably needs to be fact-checked, because the internet's so trustworthy. 100%. But, yeah. If a black hole connects to a white hole, it forms a wormhole. And if I remember correct, it is possible to go through said wormhole without... You can survive it, I think. I could be completely mistaken. You probably are going to get spaghettified through spaghettification from the black hole. But I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of the black hole cancels out the white hole cancels out the spaghettification or something because it's a wormhole. Because it's just, you travel so fast.
One time when I was getting into bed, I was thinking about something. So, with the black holes, we detect the super huge ones so easily.
Yeah.
So these smaller ones we have so much trouble detecting. I don't know the reason behind it. Probably just because they're smaller.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying something about how many they found?
Yeah, they've only found like 50 smaller black holes or something.
Yeah. That makes me think, like, I forget what YouTube channel it is, but it's like the one with the funny bird and stuff, and it talks about, like, different kinds of science and physics.
Yeah,
that one.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I watched, one of the videos they talked about was how, like, our universe could be inside of a black hole, which is inside of a larger black hole, or something along the lines of that. Which, thinking about that could mean that there's, like, tiny black holes that exist everywhere, like, that are just so microscopic we can't pick it up, like, billions upon billions of them inside of, like, a Planck length of space, which is also crazy. Like, there's so many possibilities for how our universe could work. Like, we could be in a simulation, you know?
Well, like, where I was going with the small ones is maybe there could be a white hole out there somewhere, but it's just small, so we haven't detected it yet.
Yeah.
Like, so there's so many smaller black holes that will eventually become the huge ones that we know today.
Yeah. Isn't it like if you took the mass of the sun and condensed it down into a black hole, it'd be like the size of a tennis ball?
I want to say it's close to the size of an ant.
I think that's Earth, but I could be completely mistaken here. I know it's very small, because so much matter needs to be compressed down.
Well, like, on the topic of black holes, I always say nothing is infinite. Everything has a beginning and an end. With black holes, all of that matter that goes in gets condensed into this really small, infinitely dense point.
Yeah.
I've never liked...
The event horizon?
Not the event horizon.
Not because that's light, but...
The inside of the black...
Past the horizon?
Yeah, so... Like, everything that the black hole consumes gets condensed into this infinitely dense point.
Which isn't the event horizon. Well, it's not past the event horizon, because that would be impossible.
Yeah,
from what I know, the event horizon is that's where lights get stopped, and light's the fastest thing we know, besides space-time itself, which space-time is very confusing. There's the best way I've learned about this, and I could be wrong. Again, like everything I've said needs to be fact-checked. Space-time is fast. Space-time's the fastest anything will ever be able to go. And, we can... a friend of mine was telling me about this. We control how fast it goes based off light or something like this. We don't control it. We know how fast it goes based off light. So because the speed of light is the closest thing we can possibly get, it's so close to, space-time itself, but it's not quite as fast as we can go. We can go faster. We don't know how. I don't even know if physics allows it. I could be completely wrong. I'm probably saying this all wrong. But from what I understand, everything gets stopped at the event horizon except space-time, which continues flowing in. White holes, space-time flows out, and it kind of just, like, shoots out. And any kind of matter, which the only matter that can come out of it is space-time, because that's the only thing, and that's what's spewing out of it.
So, like, even then, at some point in that infinitely dense point, there has to be a spot where it ends. Nothing is infinite. Like,
yeah, it's because that's the event horizon where everything kind of just crunches up, I'm pretty sure. That's the point you speak of.
So, like, even the universe itself, it's been told that keeps on growing and will grow forever. There's always a start date and an end date, no matter what. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson said there's a couple of ways how the universe will end. There's the a Great Rip where the universe just rips itself in
Yeah, I
half.
saw a video. Heat death, Great Rip. There's
Everything, it just stretches out far enough that every star dies and it just becomes,
that's heat death, right?
I think.
Yeah. Look up the 100 digits of pi people, the Aesop Science. They made a video about it. I was just bored one day and I watched it.
You type it.
Okay.
So like,
It's on YouTube.
then there's
Ooh,
another.
funny Samsung. I don't like it. I'm an Apple man.
There's another way where the universe just stops growing and basically the reverse of the Big Bang. Everything
there's YouTube.
comes in all together and destroys everything. And then there's just, in honesty, the universe is kind of scary. I mean, it's so big, there's still so much we still have to learn. The same can be said about the oceans. I mean, so big, we know so little about them. It's honestly kind of scary. I mean, most of the time when people are afraid of the ocean, it's not they're afraid of the ocean itself. It's they don't know what's in the ocean, and not knowing what comes next often scares people. Which is
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, keep talking.
which is the cause for most ocean fears. Well, most fears, not knowing what's there. So now, I know if people are listening to this and they have arachnophobia or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But if you scroll through that kind of explains some of the different deaths they were talking of. But you were talking about arachnophobia?
so like
Sorry, I kind of just zoned out for a sec.
the arachnophobia part and all of the phobias and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fears of actual things. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I know I always try to explain different fears. This is one of the ones that, like, the phobias just are what they are. It's like, for example, I've always said the fear of the darkness is not the darkness itself, it's what's in the darkness that people can't see.
The fear of the dark is... I don't know anyone who's just scared of dark. They're scared of what's inside the dark.
Yeah, no, I'm one of
Which
those
is
people,
Which is 100%, like, makes sense. I feel like everyone at some point in their life had to have been scared of the dark.
Well, like, even in prehistoric times when we were still apes and still in Africa, I mean, we were all...
It's fine. I get like this sometimes. Brain farts.
We went to... Studies show that we went to bed pretty much after the sun went down. So, I mean, looking at today, that is not the case. But, like, this shows that we were probably afraid of the dark when we were very old and when we were still in Africa and were still the primates. I mean, the fear of the darkness has been around for so long. But, like, for me, I know I'm scared of what's in the dark. It's when I'm by myself and I'm in the dark that scares me. I mean, I could be with friends, my brother, whoever, and I'll be fine in the dark. But, like, being alone in the dark myself, just all my senses heighten and, like, but my mind will display images that aren't actually there. I'll hear something move behind me, and I could
No, I'm kidding.
I could probably last like 30 seconds or something before running, just dead running. Or, like, might have a pocket knife in my pocket, and, like, I'll be in the dark, and then after, like, 30 seconds, I'll have it in my hand ready, just in case something attacks. That, it's just...
Yeah. You're a Boy Scout. You know how to use a pocket knife. I don't think that's a good use for it.
Well,
Oh yeah, out of context, this is just an add-on. Kale is an Eagle Scout. Probably he earned it at like one of the youngest. Was it the youngest in our council?
I believe so, yes.
And he was the first one ever in our council to receive the Wilderness Award. So
Distinguished Conservation Service Award.
Not the Wilderness Award.
Well, and there's another one I've also done, the Messengers of Peace Award. That is also another award I'm the first in our council to receive. So, yeah.
And for anyone who says he's bragging, he is not in fact bragging. He has put in so much effort into this, it's not even funny. Like, I'm also in Boy Scouts, and I am nowhere close to his level.
Yeah, I mean, we probably wouldn't even be talking about Scouts right now if Jackson didn't bring it up.
Yeah, let's go back to space.
Yeah.
So, the fear of the dark. There's so many phobias out there that is just weird to me. Like, isn't there one of, like, trees turning to paper or something?
Yeah, and then...
Or, like, of wood. It was, like, a fear of wood
I would say, though, one of the scariest phobias is the phobia of dolls. I mean, dolls are just... they give me the creeps.
Like, well, it depends what kind of doll. Like, a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll, even? Nah.
Barbie dolls aren't dolls. Like the old dolls that have the dresses and stuff. Like
the dolls from like most horror movies.
Well, like the old dolls, like not the modern day ones where like you change the diaper and whatnot. Like the old dolls, like the dolls from like even like 30 years ago or something. Like creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times where like I'll sleep somewhere and there's a doll in there, and I'll ask for that doll to not be in the room because dolls are just like creepy. They don't blink, they don't move until they watch you in your sleep.
Yeah, we all have our different phobias. I don't get that way about dolls, but I also haven't seen like much horror movies besides like a few. There's I can think of 3 movies that fall under the horror section. None of them are really that scary. They're the only ones I've watched the full. Number 1 is Brian Brandon, I think. It was like this... I don't know how popular it is. It was just on TV one day at my grandma's house when I was visiting her. And I just watched it. I don't know. It was like this kid who came from space and it was like an alien baby. And then like killed people. I don't know. The second one was under the horror tab on Hulu. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Let me tell you, it's not what you think. It sounds weird. It is weird. But watching it, it's kind of a good movie. Like there's one scene where he's swinging his axe, said vampire, grabs it, and then tries to hit him with it. Abraham Lincoln grabs blade, pulls it back, uses it as gun, shoots vampire.
I will say...
Who came up with this?
It's kind of like an anime in real life.
A real life anime, but Abraham Lincoln is the star. And different. Like there's one scene where he's like, "What makes you angry, Abraham?" "The fact I couldn't save my mother." And then he swings his axe and cuts down a whole tree.
In one hit.
One hit.
I mean, yes, it was a good movie. It shouldn't have been under the horror title.
Probably not. It was more of just like gruesome.
And yes, it is exactly as it sounds.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
And then the last movie, this one's not even really considered a horror. It's not even like an actual movie. It's the SFM film, Amesis Blue on YouTube.
Oh, that was so... I watched it with you. That was just such a hard movie, too.
It was kind of hard to follow. We'd spent so much time just trying to explain it. Like, we'd pause the movie every 10 minutes and then spend, like, another 10 explaining everything that's going on. And then Kale just stepped out of the room and played ping pong.
Well, like, in that entire movie, there's one part that was kind of creepy, and that was when the doctor, opened...
medic. So, if you guys don't know, SFM is the software used to make TF2, Team Fortress 2, the video game. It's kind of popular. Most people probably know about it who play video games. And probably those who don't. If you're on the internet at all, you've probably seen something about it. There's tons of memes and stuff out there. But Fortress Films get like a bunch of really talented people, and they used the software used to make TF2, and they made this huge, full, hour 45-minute movie about Amesis Blue, which is like this pill company, and yeah, and it uses all the TF2 characters, which are Spy, Soldier, Heavy, which is Spy is a spy. He can like go invisible and disguise himself. Then there's Soldier, who is a soldier. Then there's Heavy, for heavy weapons.
Machine gun.
Then there's Scout, who moves a bit faster than everyone else, and he's kind of like a scout. Then there's Medic, who heals everyone, and he has like this gun that can shoot people and heal them and like make them immortal for a bit. Then there's Sniper. Yeah. Sorry. Sniper. Sniper. He is a sniper. And there's 3 more.
I don't know them.
I'm just thinking. Cause there's 9, right? There's 7. I think there's the only other one I can think of, because my brain's blanking here, is Pyro, who is a guy with a flamethrower who flamethrow people, and then they burn up, and then yeah. But in his vision, he's spreading rainbows and bubbles through the air because he's got some kind of mental disorder.
Schizophrenia.
That's an official lore. Anyway, the plot of Amesis Blue, using those characters.
Well, back to what I was saying, like, the only creepy part in that movie is when the medic opened doors in a crazy time of the first thing, and like it showed a medic with his eyes blown out, his smile broken. It was just kind of creepy.
Yeah, so he looked through like a time portal, because that's just part of the movie, and he saw. So the main character is Blue Medic, and he looked through the portal and saw what we thought was Red Medic with like a busted up face.
Well, in that movie, I actually think Soldier was more of the main character.
It was 100% Medic because the story themed around him, but Soldier Medic got more screen time.
Yes, Medic got more screen.
So what you did is you watched the second half where Soldier was like the main player, but in the beginning, Medic got basically all of the screen time. It was all about him.
Well, I remember that next morning we watched the thing explaining it, and it said that Soldier was the main character.
Well, Soldier was a main point of view, and Medic was a main point of view. Medic was like the hero who villain, and Soldier was like the hero who hero, with war flashbacks, because, Vietnam! I don't know.
The time placement probably would have placed it closer to World War II. Actually, yeah, it's somewhere around Vietnam.
Because it was in the 60s.
Yeah, so
1968. So, like, Soldier would have come right back from Vietnam, I'm pretty sure.
Either Vietnam or Korea. It'd be one of those two.
They're cold.
My biggest pet peeve with the Cold War was, well, the name itself, the Cold War. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a war. It was just an intimidation.
Yeah. If someone had done something, the world would be gone. Like if, I don't know, Russia launched nuke. World's ending because nuke, bomb, kaboomy.
Well, even now, I mean, one nuclear warfare is going to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
People say, oh, an asteroid is going to kill the planet or something. No.
It could be us.
We are going to destroy the planet.
You continue. Hang on.
We are destroying our own planet with all the pollution, all the deforestation. I mean, we are destroying our own planet.
Yeah. There's a lot I want to say here. I'm going to start off with this. I was reading an article, I think it was, about this island in India, I think, like this small island in India, where everyone on it has no idea what's going around outside of the world, they're completely like behind in technology, back to the time of tribes and stuff, and they're like still fighting each other and stuff, and they have like these. This was like some alien article. I don't know where I heard it from, or like read it from. Jeez, my mind's thinking of so much stuff to talk about. But in said article, it was saying stuff about how, what if on this island where it's just like people who are super uncivilized in technology, they don't even have like boats to get off this island. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's like an explosion on like the north end of the island, like a nuclear bomb goes off, for example. And they don't have a way to get off the island because they don't know what it's going to do. It's going to blow up and they could all be dead. But they just launch it anyway, and they don't have the technology to get off the island yet. I know that wouldn't really work, but that's kind of like our world. We don't have the technology to get us off of Earth.
In the case of
like
nuclear
fallout warfare, yeah, we don't have the technology like the spacecraft to get us out away.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I saw something from Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, instead of focusing on traveling to other places in space, we should focus on helping restore our planet. I mean, our planet has been incredibly resentful from the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs. I mean, the main reason we as humans are alive is because a few mammals managed to survive that incredibly long winter. I mean, that's the main reason we are here right now, is because a few mammals managed to survive through that.
Yeah. So I know we're trying to make this episode about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna make another one later. For those who don't know, we're recording this on New Year's Eve, and so that's like our time period right now. New Year's Eve, 2024.
Our next episode is gonna be
Our next episode is gonna be next year.
New
Because
Year's.
we're gonna make one after the countdown, and then we're gonna like talk about the countdown and stuff. But yeah. So, giving that time period, what is going on with the fog right now?
My goodness.
I know there's been conspiracy theories and stuff, but I don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm just like,
It's the government.
they're putting chemicals in the air. But no. Just the fog in general, how it's kind of like all over the U.S. and it's just everywhere. It's just kind of weird to think about. Like, what is going on here? Is it global warming? Did we cause this?
I feel like it's just a coincidence that...
I feel that way as well. But it's also kind of like one of those things where it's kind of fun to just be like, what could this be? You know?
I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, it's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah. But the weather, this winter at least, we're in Wisconsin. I'm not going to say which part, obviously. But the Wisconsin area, I'll go with that because I'm not going to say our town. We got snow at one point, and then the snow's kind of started to melt. And then we're going to get what's called a polar vortex, I guess. And it's going to be like cold winds out of nowhere. And they're not like super cold, of course. We've seen way colder, but it's like in between like 15 and 8 degrees, I think it is.
Beach weather.
And it's going to be like that for a solid week and a half, I think.
Well, like, that happened a bit earlier this year where it was just pretty freaking cold for a solid 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, they're calling this a polar vortex, though, so... Weird stuff.
Yeah. So, I think we should end it now.
No. I think we got about another 10 minutes left. Right now we're only about a half hour in.
So...
yeah, let's go back to, the climate change. Let's talk about that for a bit, I guess, because we're on that topic.
We are destroying our Earth.
We are destroying it, yeah.
I mean, yes, going electrical, it would be bad, but we'd have to redesign the entire power grid system to support that much electricity.
Yeah, and this was a unique look I had. I don't remember. A lot of the stuff's just in my brain. I don't remember where. Sources don't matter to me. They probably should, because I don't want most of this information to come from Wiki. But it was like, so wind energy. It was like this quote or something. It was, I'm gonna call it character 1 and character 2. Character 1 said something along the lines of, this is like in. Oh, I remember where I saw this. It was a TV show called Landman by Taylor Sheridan. He's the creator of Yellowstone. I bet everyone listening to this probably knows what that is. But
Yellowstone?
Yeah, you know what it is, right?
Yeah, I've seen the commercials.
Yeah. So, my family used to like watch it every weekend, and now that it's over, we don't.
There's a new season, isn't there?
Of Yellowstone?
Yeah.
No. The season's over.
Oh yeah, the new season's over, but like they made a new season after taking a couple years off. Didn't they?
So we watched that, and then once we were done, we started watching Landman, and then we finished it like pretty quick. But one of the scenes was like character 1 and character 2. Character 2 owns the oil business. Let's go with that. Character 1 says like, "Well, you make all this oil stuff, and they buy this windmill, wind turbine," and they're like, "What are these wind turbines for? Why are they here?" And they're on this like oil plant, and character 2's like, "Well, they're here to help power the oil rigs." And then character 1's like, "Well, why don't we just use these for power?" And then character 2's like, "The carbon footprint made to make this wind turbine is way larger than the wind turbine will probably be able to make up for within like a few years. If it survives, because it's got like what? I think it was a 20-year lifespan. It won't be able to make up for the carbon footprint needed to get all those." Quick break, we're back. The materials required to make that, like the equipment used to retrieve those materials to make the wind turbine, made a much larger carbon footprint than the windmill can make up for, which is kind of weird to think about. So it's alternative energy, not renewable. It's renewable, but it's not natural energy. Well, no, it's alternative. It's not like renewable. I don't know what I'm saying.
The carbon footprint to make the wind turbine will never...
It's not, I think, green energy. That's the word they used.
Yeah.
It's alternative. It's not green.
We should probably end now.
We got a little while. Finish out. I mean, it's our first podcast, so yeah, I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes kind of talking about like what this is gonna look like. So, the plan for this is episode 1 of our JKS podcasts. I know you didn't, but like, that's kind of the plan here. So JKS is going to be run by me, J, K, and S. We call ourselves the JKs or JKS. This is like an experimental podcast idea. Kale here is probably going to be our most popular guest. This is our first episode. K and S won't be able to appear as much. I might take the lead as the main host. I don't want it to come to that. I think it'd be better to have multiple people, but I think that's what it's going to come to.
And more likely than not, I'll be in pretty much every episode.
Yeah, more likely than not, you'll be part of it. But, like, we could call ourselves, it'd still be the JKs, but it's the JCKS. Or the JKs.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option too.
Yeah. But, yeah, let's go to this. It's 30 minutes. Anyway, the podcast is going... We're going to try to make episodes as much as we can. We're trying to get this one out and the next one out because we wanted to start this 2025. Or at least that's what my vision was. So I was kind of like, well, everyone might not be here, but let's try to get one episode done at least. And that's what we're doing right now.
Well, like, also you guys were talking about this, like, at the beginning of, like, September or something.
It was, yeah, back like the middle of August, I think it was. Or not middle of August, middle of October. I can say months.
And then, like, you guys never followed through on it.
Yeah, we never followed through on it.
Kind of dropped it there.
Today I was kind of like, well, screw it. Let's just do this. But, yeah. Podcast episode 1, we didn't quite make the 45 minutes, but, yeah, we'll see you on episode 2, and we're going to talk about the new year and stuff. And,
Yeah.
Like,
And probably keep talking about the stuff we did in this episode.
yeah. I think we should go a little bit more into, like, what our future's probably going to look like, considering it's the new year, resolutions, that kind of stuff. But, yeah, stay tuned. I'll try to post this as soon as I can. And, yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next episode in, I don't know,
20
half hour.
minutes, half hour.